And in South America, authorities in Brazil have halted the construction of a factory for Chinese electric vehicle giant Build Your Dreams, or BYD. Brazilian officials rescued more than 160 workers living in the factory in slave-like conditions. The incident took place in Brazil's northeast, where BYD has been building its first electric vehicle plant outside Asia. The workers were brought from China by a third-party firm supported by the Chinese government.
Brazilian authorities halted work on a new electric vehicle plant for BYD after discovering workers employed under conditions described as slavery-like. The Labor Prosecutor's Office revealed on December 23rd that 163 Chinese workers had been rescued from the construction site in Bahia, a northeastern state, and construction was ordered to stop. BYD announced it had terminated its relationship with Xinjiang Construction Brazil Ltd., the contractor responsible for the project. The company pledged to protect the rights of subcontracted workers, stating all workers would be relocated to hotels. Alexandre Baldi, senior vice president of BYD Brazil, emphasized the company's commitment to Brazilian labor laws and the protection of workers' dignity. Xinjiang Group, the contractor, contested the Brazilian authorities' portrayal of its workers as enslaved, claiming there were translation misunderstandings. In a December 26 statement on its official Weibo account, Xinjiang argued the characterization insulted the workers' dignity and violated their human rights. Prosecutors reported that workers had their passports and significant portions of their salaries withheld by Xinjiang.
Now, according to Brazilian authorities, the workers were forced to work excessive hours 7 days a week. They were forced to sleep on beds without mattresses, and the bathrooms lacked toilet paper and water. Moreover, only one bathroom was assigned per 30 workers, prompting them to wake up at 4 a.m. just to get ready for work. No cabinets or kitchen space were provided, forcing the workers to keep their food in unsanitary conditions.
They said the workers labored for excessively long hours, sometimes 7 days a week, in conditions the authorities called degrading. In Brazil, slavery-like conditions include forced labor, but also degrading work conditions. Authorities shut down the substandard accommodation sites until they meet regulatory standards. BYD conducted a detailed review of working and living conditions for subcontracted employees and had requested several improvements from its contractor. The new EV factory, expected to produce 150,000 vehicles annually, is part of BYD's strategy to expand in Brazil, where it sold over 66,000 units up to November 2024. Brazilian labor authorities later described the Chinese workers as victims of human trafficking, compounding the controversy due to several indicators found during the inspections. The workers were required to pay a deposit, had 60% of their wages withheld, faced excessive costs for terminating their contracts, and had their passports withheld by the company. Early termination of the contract implied the loss of the deposit and the amounts withheld in addition to the obligation to pay for the return flight and reimburse the cost of the outbound flight. BYD and Xinjiang agreed to assist and house the workers in hotels until contracts are resolved, according to a December 26 statement from Brazil's Labor Prosecutor's Office. Despite these assurances, prosecutors and federal inspectors are conducting further investigations with possible criminal measures on the horizon. China's foreign ministry stated on December 27th that it was in communication with Brazilian authorities to verify the situation, reiterating its commitment to protecting workers' rights. Meanwhile, this has triggered a rare backlash on Chinese social media against BYD, opening a discussion over worker rights, with several internet users saying living conditions for the workers in Brazil were typical of those found on construction sites in China. Xinjiang also manages construction for BYD in China, according to records on the Chinese company's information database Tianyancha. BYD is navigating this controversy amid its aggressive global expansion. The company has invested $620 million in the Bahia factory and plans to start production in early 2025. Brazil, BYD's largest overseas market, accounts for nearly 20% of its international sales. The factory symbolizes China's growing influence in Brazil and the complexities of international labor practices. Brazil's Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced on December 28th that it had stopped issuing temporary work visas for BYD following allegations of human trafficking. The Ministry of Justice warned it might revoke the residence permits of Chinese workers if the reported irregularities are confirmed. This decision reflects Brazil's broader concern over job creation and labor standards. Prominent Chinese commentator Hu Xijin, a former editor of the Communist Party tabloid Global Times, echoed Xinjiang in saying there could be misunderstandings, but said Chinese construction companies should improve the living conditions of their employees. He also noted that as BYD becomes China's most influential EV brand, it is likely to face increased scrutiny and controversies. The case underscores the challenges of managing global operations while maintaining ethical labor practices. For BYD, the incident could strain relations between China and Brazil, a key partner in its international growth strategy. We will continue to monitor this breaking development. Do you think this is a translation misunderstanding? Or this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Chinese labor practices? Let us know in the comments below and check out our other videos related to the auto industry. This is Kevin Liu for Todo Machina. Thanks for watching.